All right, everybody, welcome. So, if anyone's tuning in, welcome to the very first test run episode of Paperless. Pablo, what's Paperless?
Okay, so Paperless is basically a magazine about not only playing cards but also the community itself, like cardistry, photography of cards, editing, design, and everything that relates to the community itself. So this podcast is basically the audio version of the magazine. And if you want
Yeah,
to support the magazine, I will leave a link somewhere. We don't know yet, but there will be a link so you can.
which everybody needs to go read because I am in there somewhere.
Yeah, for real. The first issue is so good, dude.
The
And
fish is
King of
super good.
Card or
I love
King
it.
of Cheat, man, dude, that guy's nuts. I'm
Yeah,
glad you got
yeah,
him in there.
like
That was a good ass first issue, dude.
bro, like
You had him, you
King,
Yeah.
had
like King of Cheat and me have been homies for years, dude.
yeah. I figured y'all are in the same line of work essentially.
He was actually the one that taught me how to use Photoshop and Lightroom.
No.
I've never spoken to him, but he seems like a really cool dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so uh, should we start with a video or you want to talk
Yeah,
about
I don't know.
anything?
Do you guys have anything in particular you wanted to talk about? I have a list of some stuff if we hit a wall.
I wanted
Just
to
some
talk
random
about
things.
Selfish, but like you can see Patrick
Oh, selfish.
drop the
Patrick, I'm so glad he's
video.
back. It's crazy because like right when I came back, like about 8 months ago, Patrick had like just dipped out apparently, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then this whole time he's been gone. Finally, he's coming back.
Yeah, dude, it's like if you saw the group chat, like I have been asking about Selfish for months. I'm
I'm
like,
sure.
where's
Knowing you, I'm
Selfish
sure.
at? Where is Selfish at? Because I met Patrick in the Mexican convention. He's so
Yeah.
chill,
Yeah.
dude. He's so nice. One of the nicest dudes I have ever met.
Yeah, he's always smiles anytime I've seen him. I've never met him though. You talking about AMCM or just like another?
No, yeah, the AMCN.
I mean, shit, that's just something to talk about right there. Like next year, like, dude, cardistry's gonna fucking, whether anyone wants it to or not, it's about to get big. Like, if I can't make it to Brussels, which I plan on it, but if I can't, I'm gonna fucking get down to Mexico, dude. I'll walk down there. I'll jump the fence.
I'm next year is like flight tickets was already insane if I book it like a year before.
Yeah,
Yeah. Maybe US. US should be a good one.
Yeah, like from Mexico to Brussels, dude, so much money. Like it's
Yeah.
oh,
it's so big
I
though.
have to do the conversion, but it's so much money, dude. Like just on the flight. The flight alone is $2,500. The
You
flight
talking
alone.
there and back?
Yeah. There and
Yeah,
back.
that's
Yeah.
about the same for me
Dude,
as well.
so much money. Like I can buy I can buy a card with this.
You can buy a lot of belts with that,
I can buy a lot of clothing with this.
which I know you want to. Yeah, it's gonna cost me at least like $1,000 to get over to Europe,
Yeah, like
but it's worth it if I can.
if they ever do it on Mexico, that will be like super good because it's easy for Americans to come to Mexico and it's
Yeah,
easy
exactly.
to literally everyone in the world to come to Mexico. It's so cheap to stay here. So
Oh,
it's
yeah, that too, of course, right?
like hotels are so cheap, dude. Like they are like hotels that are like $25 a night. That's
Yeah.
dude, and they are decent hotels. It's not like
I'm just
this shitty hotel.
I'm just so happy for everyone who's gonna be able to go now, because everyone can't go to Brussels, everyone can't go to Tokyo, but at least everyone that's close to here.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
sick, super
like
I
dope.
was talking the other day to Lorenzo because he was like, oh, like what if Cardiscon was in Bali? I was like, it'll be like afford cheap, but then like I'm not sure if like the below 18s like if their parents will let them go because like Bali has a rep of like free and all that
Right,
stuff.
right.
But like cost wise, it'll be very very feasible. Like it'll be really good.
I'm so
yeah,
ignorant. So
and
Bali,
I
you're in Australia, right?
yeah. It's
Right. Okay.
Indonesia,
No,
right?
yeah, and it's Indonesia.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
And you
but
know
that's close to Australia, or no?
we can always stay with
It's close
Aldo
to
if it's
Australia.
in Bali,
Right.
so it's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, I'm like more than happy. Like the way to like save up on accommodation in Bali is just like, book out like, a bunch of share between like 5 people or something like that, and then on
Pablo,
like
is Aldo cutting out for you too? Because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
getting
it's
like,
cutting out. It's like
yeah.
glitching.
hello, am I still cutting out?
No, no,
Not this second now.
not the second, but you were
Okay.
cutting out.
No, what I was saying was like yeah, like uh Lorenzo's girlfriend Emily, like her parents has like some villas here, and like she's like, oh yeah, maybe you can do like a collab if Cece's gonna be in Bali, like we'll provide accommodation.
Oh
So
shit!
Hey, there you go.
yeah,
That's a nice idea, dude.
It comes together quick, dude.
yeah, but yeah, hopefully one.
There's a pretty decent community in Australia too, as far as I know. Like Matt Samuel lives down there, right?
Oh yeah, dude. Like
Yeah,
Matt Samuel
that's like
is
in
the
Melbourne.
anyone from the Houndstooth video, the anyone guy
Yeah,
from the house. Bro,
Yeah,
that like prestige move, so good. Like,
yeah. I've gotten pretty good at it.
and that
It's super
video
sick.
itself, like that video itself, is not only good for like artists. I show it to my family, and they were like, "Dude, this is
Yeah,
actually magic." It's not.
crowd pleasers. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, it's so good, dude.
crazy.
He's the reason I started wearing a watch again.
That the one-handed worm, so good.
Yeah, yeah. That guy's great. He's tops. It's no surprise anyone picked him to be in there. I was so stoked when he popped onto the screen. I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know who he was at all before. But when he showed up on the screen, it was like
Yes,
wild.
same. Like, it's wild that Lars knew me before I knew him, and that's like how. And
Yeah, I mean,
and now looking back at it, it's like, dude, like there is a lot of talented people that we actually don't know about.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, Dallas is always telling me the same thing. Like at this point, there's really no way you can sit there and try to like even come close to knowing of everyone that's in cards right now. Like, you have so many people that aren't even involved at all. They just stay quiet, you know, and
And
then they
yeah,
pop up out of
true,
nowhere.
true.
that's why I feel that pages like Who is the Cardist and BCA are actually good,
Yes, dude.
because you can find like talented people in there. I People complain like, why do you feature the same people? It's like, no, they are featuring cool stuff for you to
Yeah,
see.
yeah. I mean, that's the point of BCA. Yeah, the best cardistry. It's not. But then that's what's good. We have the. Why do I forget his name? Is it Andre? Uh, the guy who runs it, who is cardist. Yeah, he's
And
super dope.
and like, I hate that people think that the only way to be featured in BCA is doing like like moves, because cardistry is not only moves. Like, I got featured, and I do cardistry, but I never posted on my
Yeah, I've
page.
seen other stuff on there. I mean, I've seen, yeah, every now and then you'll see
Yeah,
something that's
they
like, you know, it's not
feature
just a crazy packet cut.
photography, art, and stuff like that. Like, I saw
Yeah,
the last time I checked, I saw a photo of two decks that looked actually really cool. So
Oh, those new cards. I just
the
forgot about them. I went to their page and saw them.
the decade is ending. So how do you all feel about that?
It's essentially the first decade. I mean, obviously it wasn't the very beginning back in 2010, but I mean, things didn't really take off till around then.
Yeah, like,
like
Is
I remember back in the day, like stuff was more easy. Not gonna lie,
yeah,
cardistry
Oh,
moves
of
were
course,
more
like one,
of
easy.
course, yeah, of course. Dude. If you go back and look
yeah,
at just Dan and Dave's stuff, I mean, it's so basic.
yeah. Wasn't it was like just like normal packet cuts and all that, but now like you see like no, he's doing all these like there's so much things that you can do with cards now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always trying to tell anyone who's asking about it, like it's got to be like imagine juggling, but with 52 different objects that you can literally like it's almost limitless. I mean, you can imagine in 10 years from now, a 50 packet cut theoretically, like if someone figured out a way to make it happen.
Which
Yeah,
It's
which
that's why.
video, in like your opinions, is the best of the decade? Like
of the decade.
the video
Shit.
that changed the
Oh,
game itself. It passed from basic to another level.
man, I couldn't really say because I was gone for so long. I want to
Like,
say Lars is fucking final, but
I left at like so like I left watching doing Anaconda and Flickr and all that, and I came back seeing his like Turbo video, and that
Yeah.
was like pretty like a big jump. I was like, what the hell? But I think in my opinion, like either Turbo or Ace by Noel Heath, because like Ace was like cardistry but like
It's
magic
so
as
good.
well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon that because it was like cardistry. It basically defines that cardistry is like magic or like the other way around. You know, like they're both
Right. Yeah.
they both like with
It's just cards. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
in my opinion, my choice is something way more old because it passed from just packet cuts and stuff like that to like fans, constructions, and stuff like that. Is from the Mothership by Pret.
Mm,
I don't know
man.
if any of
Throwback.
you have seen that
I think
video.
I have seen
Shout
that.
out Pret, like the OG, the original fan gut.
That's the name I know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Predator.
I'm sharing the link right here. So if you want to see it or something, so good, dude. Like, look at those fans. And that video is like from 2013 or something because
Yeah. I was gonna say.
that's a re-upload of the video because when Pret left, he deleted everything. So for me, it's this one just because it's actually the first video that I remember that featured stuff with fans, with not only
Yeah.
like fans cuts and stuff like that, but like fans on
Right.
fans, dude. Like,
Totally outside the box. Yeah.
it's
Like
the
fancy.
turbo
Yeah.
of fans. Like, but turbo, like for real, my favorite video in the last few years is Turbo by Noel. I have seen
Yeah.
that video so much, dude. Like, all the cuts in that video are so good.
Definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
anyone's definitely had like a major hand in like carrying the evolution of cardistry over the last decade. It's kind of started. I think I'm going to stick with it. I'm just going to say Lars' final this year because I mean, just everything he put in there all together. It's like it just encompasses the whole evolution from like the beginning to like just seeing crazy gnarly things like his electric decks and all that. Like he's not just doing like just cuts or just fans. Like he really like covers like the whole spectrum. Like if you really want to explain cardistry
Yeah.
to someone, I think that's like the perfect video to
Yeah.
Yeah,
show him.
that's true. And
Like I call him the professor, dude. Like he's nuts. He's
you know
so outside the box.
what I love about that video, that he actually went out the way and made decks for that video.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he got all these people to allow him to make decks for the video.
Which do we know for sure? I heard he just went with NPC, probably, right? I mean, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that it's NPC. But like, thanks to Lars, is that the Green Echoes exist. That's pretty cool.
Is it? I mean, I guess it probably is, right? I would believe it because they are. I'm not saying low quality at all, but you know, like the box is not as
It's not the
premier
same.
as like the old Echoes box. Yeah, yeah. So they probably just kind of jumped on it, which I'm cool with.
So, changing the subject, what's like the best deck of the decade for you? In
Yeah,
your
I
opinion?
knew you were gonna go there next.
Yeah, for real.
That's
We have
that's
to
so
talk about
tough.
that.
Deck.
The
That's
best
so
deck
difficult.
of the decade. Like,
I know what Huron would load.
I know my choice. It's going to be like kind of controversial and shit, but I'm speaking that my truth. So in my opinion, the best deck of the decade is Fontaine. I used to hate Fontaine. People that know me from back in the day know that I used to talk a lot of shit about Fontaine. I used to say
Yeah,
no.
why? He's too
They-
cocky or what?
I used to say like they are only like Nox with two Fs and stuff like that.
Oh,
It's
okay,
so
right,
stupid that
right.
people pay so much money for that. But if you think
Yeah.
about it, like, Sack changed the game, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
True.
yeah, he's right there with anyone.
Everything
if it weren't
used
for
to
Zach,
be
we
so busy back in the day. Like, designs used to be so busy. Like, if you see all the designs before Fontaine, they were all like super detailed, like Theory
Yeah,
11
yeah.
style.
Theory 11, yeah.
And like Sack
Yeah.
came up with Fontaine, and it's like he changed the game of design. So
And I mean, even just the cards aside, yeah, just what he did. I mean, he helped put it on the map. It's like big time.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I actually
I agree.
I actually remember that someone told me that he didn't had plans to release the deck, but people saw his downloads on tier 11 in the
Yeah, I
wire
remember.
from back in the day, and they
Yeah,
were
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Hey, can do,
Shout out the
are you,
wire.
yeah, shout out the wire." They used to comment like, "When are you releasing the deck?" and stuff like that. And he said, "Okay, if people want it, I'm releasing it." And he, I think that it was in the go for the red ones.
You know, I think I remember
For
that.
the red
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, dude, like so
I was, I
wild.
was, I left the community.
I actually had the opportunity to get some, but like I said, I used to hate Fontaine, so I missed the opportunity to buy a brick. I regret it, dude.
Damn.
A
It's
brick,
crazy looking back, right?
yeah,
How like all the things you may have talked shit on, and then nowadays it's like
yeah.
they're
Nowadays,
fucking like
I
heirlooms.
love it. Like you all know that one of my favorite decks is the carrots Fontaine.
Which is one of the main reasons why I might agree with you, just because his working collaborations, like I mean,
Oh
he
yeah,
totally jumped outside of the circle. Like
Yeah.
before, you know,
that's
we had the
Like,
usual, but
that's another thing that he is the first like solo company to collab with really important people like Rippon
right, that had
Deep,
nothing to do with cardistry before. So
Chinatown,
he's
Carrots.
yeah,
yeah, rip and dip, yeah, all that.
I agree.
So it's
To
like
the point where like almost like Fontaine Future was in the eyes of like a lot of like hype beats, you know, like with the bots and all that. Like to
oh
that
yeah,
point, you know,
Yeah,
like where
dude.
now cards are for like cardists, but like for other people
Which we'll have to talk about
to reach
futures
a wider market.
on its own in a second. Yeah.
Yeah, and like yeah, well,
yeah, like wild
how much
resale
I love.
prices like $70 for one blind pack. I remember that. That was fucked up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And there was
it's
people
gonna
yeah,
that
happen.
were actually paying that amount for a blind pack.
yeah.
Imagine paying $70 and getting a parrot deck.
I
Um,
I know some
you're kind of
people
cutting out
like
again,
it's
although.
like yeah. Hello.
Just heads up. Yeah, I hear you now. It's good.
All good. Yeah. My internet's a bit bad, but yeah. I mean, like you guys know how much I love Fontaine, but like for me, the deck that like changes everything, I reckon, was any ones like either checkerboard, the first one, or the dots for like the first one of the first one-way designs.
Yes, dude. Dots. There you go.
Because
Yeah, that.
because like
Shout out dots.
yeah yeah when I got back was like when they first released like they just released dots
About 3 years ago. Yeah.
and the OG checkerboards, and then like coming like you know like when I left it was like Theory 11 decks, so like and then I see dots and I'm
Yeah, yeah,
like what is this? This
same.
is like a
Right.
one-way
Yeah.
design, you know? Like
Seriously.
I
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
what the
Like
hell?
the most
And then
simple
after a while it like
designs
grew
from
into
back in the
me.
deck
You
were
can't play
like
poker with that, or you could, but yeah, you know what I'm saying.
the I remember
Yeah.
that the most simple designs from back in the day were like casino decks,
Yeah, exactly.
Right, like
Like
wins or something. Yeah.
wins and stuff like that.
the wind like the Ace Fulton and all that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Fultons. Shout out Brad
Yeah.
Fulton. Super nice dude.
Yeah, legend. Yeah, and then like I reckon like dots changed me. I was like first I was hating on it. I was like, what the hell? Like one-way design, like that's not gonna work.
Right.
After a while, I'm like, this thing's nice. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's
Yeah.
different. Yeah. It puts a whole different feel on the. You're not just looking at a deck of cards. You know, it's someone sees it and they're like, wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
What am I
thing.
looking at? Yeah.
Exactly. They really changed the game.
That what I feel about dots is that they push the boundaries so high because it's like they almost say fuck it, I don't need all this, I'm just going to put this to grab attention of the spectators.
Yeah.
That's all I
Mm.
need.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's just
that's-
like
It's crazy.
That's true because
fuck the system.
if you do a cut or like a packet cut or something or a display with dots, it looks so good. It actually
It's
does
insane
Yeah,
look
just how
so good.
simple, but how effective. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I would say
reckon
I
the
want
dots
to
for me.
for my choice. I would want to say Dealer's Grip, but I'm gonna go beyond that. I'm just gonna say the deck of the decade would just be the custom deck in general. Just the fact that anyone now, I mean, this is it's crazy
Come
thinking about
on,
it.
come on. You
Like
have to
back
choose
when I
one deck.
back when I first. All right, well then I'd go with Dealer's Grip, but I mean, yeah, I would go Dealer's Grip, but I mean either way,
which
it's just
deck of Dealer's Grip?
so I would man, really just dealer's grip. I mean,
No, no,
you
come
picked
on,
just
dude.
Fontaine. Come on, what would you pick from Fontaine then?
Red Fontaines, they were the first deck
Oh,
to
you
change
say
the
red,
game.
okay.
Yeah,
Well, then I would say Brush then, because
Brush.
I think that's the first example of like his decks where he is it's not about just being, you know, like a card design. It's just he's just putting art on the cards.
I
It's just a
I have kind of like a problem with the Brush deck because
yeah,
one of my homies, Ben, the one that makes trainers,
yeah,
he
Yeah.
Ben
actually
Closey.
he actually like back in the day made a deck based on a cover of a book by Nimdog, and
And it was similar or what?
no, it was the same thing. Like it was
Really?
paint brushes on the back, like paint strokes
What?
on the back, and it was a huge problem, dude. When
Oh,
dealers
was
read,
it?
yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
Everyone was like wilding because like you stole the design and stuff like that. And I regret to say it, but I was one of those that were like, dude, that's not cool. Don't steal stuff. But
I mean, hey, all the
Ben,
best stuff is stolen.
yeah, like Ben is okay with it now. Like he's
Right.
chill now. So if he's chill and he made the deck, it's like I'm chill. So
If there's anyone that I'd be okay with it, like if I were in Ben's position, I guess yeah. I mean, I would have to give Oliver the pass because you know he's doing good work with it at least.
yeah, he's doing and the fact that he's selling decks for really cheap, like he's selling decks for 15. That's cheap, dude.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna change it. I'm not gonna say Brush. I'm just gonna say Sepple
Seppo,
because
oh
Sepple's the
Yeah.
yeah,
first deck
No,
I
I
saw
agree.
that it's straight up.
I
It's just a
was
painting. It's a beautiful work of art, and
yeah,
it's just on a deck of cards, and that's it. It's just showing that
that's
you
true.
can literally put, like he always says, put your thoughts on paper. You can just put anything you want on a deck of
yeah.
cards. It
That's
doesn't have
true.
True.
You know
to
that
fit
I
into
love
any.
Seppo, like
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
good.
yeah. That's what sparked it. Yeah, because I know you were going nuts about it,
Yeah, Seppo is so good.
and you could argue that Sepple
I
was
was
probably one of the main inspirations behind like the whole not all of Futures, but you know, there's a whole deck of Futures that's basically just
Oh,
Sepple.
the
You know?
Flora, yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I was hating on Sepples when it first came out
So
yeah,
was I.
after a
same. I
while.
was like, what the fuck is this? But
It's a little weird, right?
Yeah.
it grew on me because
Yeah.
it's weird.
But after a while, I was like, I'm grabbing 6 decks.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah, I wanted to get 6 decks, but Brian didn't have the
And
6 pack.
jumping over that, it's definitely one too that a spectator sees, like someone that doesn't know cardistry, and they're actually gonna take more interest to, you know, along that whole line.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Man, it's crazy to think it's only 10 years really that everything's going down in cardistry.
Yeah,
Yeah, it really, I mean, like, even just in the past, like, what, 2 years, like in 2018 when I got back, like, I think a lot happened as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's climbing like
Pretty
exponentially,
crazy.
insanely.
Which is
Yeah.
good. You know, it's good for the community, good for everyone
So
excited.
I think we should take a second, throw it back. Let's just talk about futures, the whole thing itself. I mean, what an amazing, like, we
When you
joked about it in the chat that we
yeah,
should do it every year.
when you
Like,
say about futures, it's like I remember Jared straight on say once every year, like futures are coming. I know it.
dude,
Futures are
that's a
coming.
dope idea. They have
Yeah,
to, right?
yeah. He was like
Yeah,
that's
I
he
agree.
has to drop futures and stuff like that. Then like I think that Aldo asked like Zach or something like where futures at, and Zach said like no, they aren't releasing and stuff like that.
Yeah, because like I sent him a photo of like the stickers, and he was like, "Oh shit!" Like you still have the stickers. I was like, "Yeah," and then I asked him, "Are you ever gonna release this?" He's like, "Oh, maybe not."
Yeah, then like few months later, futures drop.
Boom.
Bro, we were
Yeah, I
like
agree.
super like, oh my god,
It
Jared
shook.
was right. What the fuck?
It shook the community, dude.
Yeah,
Like, that's
shout
talking about
out
a fucking
Jared.
earthquake.
Occupied
Like
cards.
coming up. If he actually, I mean, there's no way to know. It's just us talking about it at this point. But man, if he were to do futures every year, like
Yeah, that will be
that would
insane.
fit so well. That's so perfect. I mean, it's talk about a gnarly way to feature 6 people while also introducing like 6 insanely unique decks. He didn't half-ass that at all. Like he was working on that for a while.
Yeah,
That's how you know Zach he loves this community. You know,
Yeah.
you don't put out something like futures and just for money.
yeah, for real. And mostly because he wasn't selling them for that much profit.
Right.
that I want to talk about this because people think that no, that deck is $15, that he's making a lot of profit. That's not true. When I think that it was Flux came out, everyone was saying like, "Hey, Dennis, why are you selling Flux for $15 or something like that?" And
Right.
I sent Dennis like, "Man, people really don't know how much time and effort it
Yeah.
takes to design because I'm a designer of decks, so I know how much people can charge for it.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
to film the trailer, if you are filming in your own studio and stuff like that, you have to pay for the airplane for the cardis and stuff like that. So it's a lot of money that you are investing in ads and stuff like that. So basically the
Yeah.
profit is not that much. That's why what people don't get.
Yeah, I've just never really got the argument. I mean, even at 18 with anyone, like it's. I get that it could be a lot, for a kid or something like that. But a deck lasts you a minute. You can make it last, and $18 really isn't that much.
And like for anyone,
Yeah.
what I see on what they are spending, the profit, quotes unquote, it's like traveling to places to film videos.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
they are going to Tokyo, to
All over the world. Yeah.
all over the world, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're filming stuff here. And
They.
Zach like always invites artists to the events and stuff like that, and he pays for
Yeah.
everything.
Flies everybody up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree.
That's like it's fucked up that people think that he's stealing money or something like that because it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's never going to be able to get away with that. I mean, it's just someone in that position. There's always going to be that group of people that they don't know. They're naive. Maybe they just see him as just a hype guy. They just found about it yesterday.
Yeah,
Especially as cardistry gets bigger, like we're gonna have that problem more and more.
yeah.
People that just
That
aren't aware
that's
of the
true.
full thing.
You know what I hate is when people say, "What's the point of cardistry?" Like that's
that's
it's like,
that's
bro,
the
come
classic
on.
meme.
It's like
I think
saying
it's getting easier. Yeah,
what's the point of everything?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
Yeah.
why do anything? Yeah, it's a hobby. It's a juggling.
Yeah,
It's anything.
it's a hobby. It's like an expression for me. A way of doing art.
I think it's getting easier to explain now that we have so many. It's much less awkward today to explain. Like at Thanksgiving dinner, I kind of had to give a little mini presentation. Yeah, like I had to give a little mini demonstration. But 10 years ago,
Brian,
technical difficulties,
let me
things like
ask you a question. Like, how much time has
yeah,
passed
y'all can
since
tell.
you joined the community? Like for the first time?
So I want to. I mean, I was basically there about when it started. I remember when System came out.
Oh, dude,
So I mean,
you're
that's
Like
essentially
2010,
the beginning,
2011
right? And
system, and
then
then some.
it was crazy because back then, I mean, like it's hard nowadays still, but back then, like you couldn't explain what card because it wasn't even a community yet. It was just Dan and Dave
Yeah.
were essentially them, and then you could say Brian Suter, a few other people, Chris Kinner, and all that. They were kind of just doing cuts as they did Magic.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Nowadays, luckily, it's has exploded. It's so huge. When I came back this year, like I followed along a little bit here and there. Dallas my buddy would always keep me informed a little bit. I didn't really have my eye on it too much. But then when I really came back, I really took a step back in and really looked at where it was going, where it had come from, and all that. It's crazy, man. Like it's a whole world now.
Yeah,
Or like I remember when you couldn't even. It was like crazy if you even knew there was a cardist close to you. You'd hear about like, man, we heard there's this guy that might play with cards across town.
Yeah.
I remember that it was impossible to design a deck without like getting a big company like
Yeah,
Illusionist to
exactly.
produce the deck because
Yeah.
if anyone of the people that is listening, if you all don't know, Illusionist was the first company ever to make a custom deck. Shut
Mm-hmm.
up,
Yeah.
Black Tigers.
Shadow
Yeah.
Masters,
Shadow
Oh,
Masters.
Shadow Masters, yeah.
Yeah.
Ghost
The
deck.
Ghost deck.
Ghost deck,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
I remember that. I think I even cried to my mom.
yeah.
I was like, "Mom, can you please buy me a ghost deck?" I
It
still
was so
have that
fire.
deck, dude. I
Yeah, I'm
never
looking right at
use it.
mine.
Never use it because I was so afraid to like damage it or something like that.
Yeah.
because it cost me a lot back in the day. Like back in the day, paying
Yeah, they were.
like
Yeah, seriously, they were expensive in the beginning. So it's like
yeah,
people can't really complain too much. It's been that way since the start.
paying like 20 to 15 to $20 for a deck,
Yeah,
like that was tough, dude.
I don't remember what I paid for the 6-pack, but yeah, it wasn't cheap.
And more because I live in Mexico, so I had to pay resale. I
Hmm.
paid like 25 for a deck of Ghost. Imagine paying
Oh damn.
$25 for a deck of White Ghost.
It felt so cool having those though. I
Yeah, but
remember
it
going to
felt so
school
good.
and
Yeah,
busting
yeah.
out my Shadow Masters.
It was like I
Black
think that I
faces.
told my mom like, no, this deck's for magic. It will make me a better magician and stuff.
Hmm.
Dude, like, yeah, the stuff you say to get something, dude.
And then now shout out fucking NPC.
Hey, yeah,
Yeah, true.
That's why I wanted to say the custom deck, 'cause, man, it's crazy. I mean, that's one of the things that really blew me away when I got
yeah,
back. I
like
come back and there's kids putting out 12-year-olds making decks and getting
for
the cards they
real.
want funded.
Like Benji Taylor, dude.
Yeah.
He made an empire of design,
Yeah,
starting by the icon deck. That's
I don't know if I know
insane,
that one.
dude.
I'm gonna
Like
try to look that up.
he's now designing decks for like Cardistry Con and stuff.
You said a Benji, right?
Yeah, Benji Taylor.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so crazy when you think about it.
So, what about the verts? Should we talk about the verts at all? Is that a topic of interest?
Oh yeah, if you want, we
Yeah,
can talk about
definitely.
the birds. He had
Yeah,
I'm
the verse was crazy. I mean, like I stopped when the verse like released their first deck, like a bit before, but I was like I basically like watch all their videos when they collab with, like Bone Ho and all that, the
yeah.
Anaconda, the Eye
do
Cut, and all
do
that.
you
So it was like a
Mm,
remember
long
the
time ago.
Gambit video?
But yeah, I remember that.
So good, dude.
I've
Like
heard of
Yeah,
it. I haven't seen
when
it.
X-Men Origins was about to come out, they posted this video of, I think that it was Bone Ho or Huron dressed as
yeah,
Gambit. He started doing
I
cardistry and
remember
stuff.
that now. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
So good, dude.
yeah, yeah. That was so long ago, and yeah, Bone Ho and like yeah, like even like the Anaconda and the Eye Cut was like already insane when it first released, but now we have like all these crazy ones like Mocking God and all these other ones I know and like a lot of people created, and it's just like Anaconda is just basically now like a like one-handed cut, it's just
Yeah,
like a
it's the
basic move
basic
now.
move.
Hmm.
Yeah, but at that time it was like, well, if you can't do it, it's just like,
Yeah, like
good.
what's he doing? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's pretty crazy how things develop, especially with the vids, with the flicker and all their and like basically their cards as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like they were the first ones on doing like geometric designs.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
That
I see that discussed a lot
definitely.
though, whether or not because you know how they claim they were the first cardistry deck.
yeah, they are, because I remember that the illusionist decks and the tier 11 decks that were the only stuff that you could buy were for magic. Actually,
It's for
Fontaine
Magic. Yeah,
Yeah,
Fontaine
yeah.
Fontaine itself was for magic.
Yeah. I was gonna
yeah.
bring that up earlier. I
Even
forgot.
even 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 like the smoke and mirrors, at Fulton's, they were
Yeah,
for
all
Magic
of
as
those
well.
decks were for magic. Like the
Yeah, I mean smoke and mirrors. Yeah,
the
it's all
Birds
about magic. Yeah.
was the first one to market a deck as only for cardistry.
Yep. That's
That
why I always like to jump in because people like to say that like all illusionists, but yeah, that's like you said,
no,
that
yeah,
wasn't a cardistry deck.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was for magic. Like they were marketed for magic and magicians and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
I
that's
really
true.
I really hope they come back pretty hard. I mean, it seems like they're amping it up pretty hard, so they got to have a lot planned. This whole phase 2 thing.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting because basically no one outside the Birds know
Yeah,
what's phase 2
that's the thing about them, right? They've
yeah.
always been incredibly like kept to themselves, kind of,
for
at
real.
least as far as what they've got going on. All right, so moving forward, what do you guys, if you had to be in charge, what would your goals be for the community as a whole?
I would say like more support to everyone,
Yeah,
because like even us, like, well, me, I have talked shit about other designs and stuff like that. That's not good, dude. If you think about it, it's not good because we're a community.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then like like in every community always like there's always like that, especially as a designer, like you can't expect everyone to like your design. Someone's always gonna talk shit about your design.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's
especially
like
as we
inevitable.
get bigger, we're gonna move away from that kind of family feel that it started with, I guess,
Like
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
the thing with designs, it's like people. I feel that people, mostly like OGs, are like saying no. Like you can't place anyone on a black bag and call it a deck. And it's like, dude, that's called art. There's an entire
Yeah,
art genre about simplicity and minimalism.
hmm
That's art. You can't say what's art and what's not. So it's like,
yeah. It's just maybe it's just not the type of art that you like, but it's still
yeah,
art, you know.
it's not the type of art that you like, but it's art. So, Aldo, is there anything you want to talk about?
Man, I asked the question. It's even
Oh,
if you don't have an answer, it's hard for me to even really think of anything. Such a grandiose question
yeah.
I threw out there.
Like, how do you all feel about the new BCI deck, the black one, and how are people reacting to it?
I'm all about it, 100%.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are like what's it called? Like maybe not into it is because like I guess a lot of cardists that let's say joined after like 2015, like they didn't grow up, let's say, with like the Shadow Masters, everything was just like still like white faces and all. But
Right.
then like being like for BCA to go back into those black faces, I think it's pretty brave as well, and I think it's good, it's something they're bringing like the old school thing back. It might not be for everyone. That's all I can say. But
Exactly.
definitely,
I mean, yeah,
it's a really brave move.
yeah. I'm happy that they're not sticking to, you know,
To
like a
what's
strict
trending?
a strict design for their for their decks and everything.
It's
Yeah,
like they make trends. That's dope.
yeah, yeah. They, they don't follow the trend. What's everyone doing? They just like I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
If I had to say one thing moving forward, I guess I would just hope that more of the community is more willing to embrace the growth that's going, because you see a lot of hesitation, a lot of people that
Yeah,
maybe they want it to stay small still, or so. Not that I want it to not stay small, but it's getting big whether anyone wants it to or not. So hopefully we can move
yeah,
forward with less of the T word. Not that I even feel like there really is that much. I feel like that gets overhyped. Toxicity. It's not as bad as people say it is.
yeah. No, I agree. Really, just as the community grows, everyone, but like it's still like pretty strong, not divided and all that. I hope.
I think so,
yeah, yeah. Like,
especially with things like
Yeah,
2CCs coming and all that. Like, I mean,
oh yeah, that's. I'm hyped, dude. Like, come on,
dude,
that's
I can't wait to go to my first CC, man. Can't
same.
wait.
Like,
it's amazing, man.
Brian, how
Oh,
was
you haven't been, probably, have you?
no like to a
Uh,
proper cardistry con? No.
You've always been okay. It's it literally it was the main, like, if I wasn't gonna stay before it's literally what kept me, like, I was for sure that I made the right choice coming back into the community. Like, it's just every moment there. It's just everyone it's just it's so exciting because we haven't really had that much. We've had 5 or 6 cardistry cons, but as it's getting bigger, just the feeling of community is so strong when you're there.
yeah, no, I can totally agree with that. Just can't wait to like meet everyone. The one that people that
You're
you met
gonna
like only talk to like through a
Yeah,
screen and all that.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
Yeah,
true.
yeah. You're gonna love it. You're not
yeah,
gonna be able to see everyone you want to. It's crazy. It's just so much, but in a good way though.
yeah. You know how like Lorenzo was in Bali and like he's like the first cardist that I've met through like tiny chat and like met in person, and like the first
Right.
thing I said to him was like, hey man, like long time no see you. And I was like, no, this is the first time me seeing you.
Yeah. Right. It feels strange, right?
Yeah,
It's. I had the
yeah, I
feeling,
just
yeah,
said
a
like,
few
hey man, long
times.
time no see you. I was like, wow. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
pretty fun.
that's crazy. Like to think that everyone here, like we are friends because like social media and stuff, and because cardistry,
Yeah,
cards, magic. That's crazy, dude. Just to think about it, that's crazy.
Huge, huge shout out. So just everyone involved made that happen. Carter's Retouch, Dan and Dave, anyone, just the big names, just they're holding it up, man. Like they're making it possible, especially Dan and Dave, just bringing it together since the beginning almost.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
those guys are, man. Just talk about like amazing.
Yeah, it's like
It's wild, man. Things are getting crazy. It's a lot different. It's good. I'm excited. I couldn't be happier about it.
yo, Brian. I have one
Yeah.
question for you. Like
Mm.
this is a legit question that I have. Why do you sell decks for so cheap, dude? Like you will barely make profit when you sell decks.
I mean, it was the main reason I even chose to do that route to begin with. The store, like, it's you come in, and obviously with how big things have gotten so quickly, and it's going to catch the attention, with hype culture. That's already a thing. It's been a thing. So the moment, Joe, who doesn't do cardistry, he doesn't do magic, but he knows that he could buy 12 decks and easily throw them on eBay for 50, a few months later. It felt really important to me to do everything I could to just to give back, just to make it, to get rid of that whole aspect. It's unavoidable move. Like, I don't think we're ever going to be able to stop it. Zach's dealing with that right now. It's a really, really tough spot, because you can't just go and make 40,000 decks, because then the part of what drives the decks is the fact that there's so few, whether you like that or not, as an aspect of the process. It's kind of the way it is right now, that we have to make it work.
Yep.
So it was really important to me. I had the opportunity to lay down the capital and make it happen a little bit for a little while where I could. I think it had a little ripple. I saw a few people following after me, what's his name? Nothing Only Cards, I believe. He just opened a store
Oh yeah,
where he's
yeah.
doing a lot of the same thing. And
Yeah, Tinket Corner, something like that.
yeah, that's right, something like that. Yeah,
He
and I was just
he sold Fultons, like the green and the orange one, for like
Uh-huh.
almost retail, dude. That's
yeah,
crazy.
it's good, because it's always going to be there, like I said, but there shouldn't be the crazy aftermarket that there is. No one should have to miss a deck and then have to worry about paying $80 for it just to get it. I mean, I'm a firm believer that it's not that important. It's just a deck of cards. You could pick up a deck of bikes any day and still do all the same cardistry, but it is still kind of important, because you want to be able to represent the people
Yeah,
that you look up to and
like
everything.
the
If you have to
meaning
pay,
and
Yeah.
stuff.
yeah, which I
Like
think it's still been doing good.
like
eBay sales go down. Yeah, go ahead.
I feel that is like the same with clothing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like you pay, I don't know, like $2,500 for a belt that just
yeah,
says off white, but and you can buy a belt, a cheap ass belt that costs
right.
like $10. It
Yeah,
does the same. The thing is that you want to represent the brand and the meaning of it.
and I think it really got me, because we are big. We're getting bigger, but to see that kind of market in the moment where the community is still pretty small and still pretty family oriented, like it was crushing to just see that kind of slimy behavior coming after such a small niche group
Yeah.
that couldn't really defend itself too much.
Yeah, like I feel that people selling Jerry nuggets for like 300, 400,
Yeah,
that's stupid.
it's crazy. Yeah, those have
Because
always been expensive, man.
Because it's like, come on. Back in the day, you can get a deck of Jerry's for like 50, 60.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because one man had to go and buy them all.
Yeah,
Exactly like today's
Yeah.
problem. Yeah,
yeah. It's like
Yeah, but then like
if I go to Zach and I offer him a wild amount of money for, I don't know, like black tains, and I'm the only one that have black tains now. I can basically price them at anything I want.
yeah. This
Yeah.
is how the market
Yeah.
works.
That's that's fucked up.
If I could say anything last about it, I would just urge anyone to just don't pay crazy prices for decks. Like, as bad as you want it, and I know some people are still going to, of course. If you
Yeah.
have the money and you want it, you got to do what you got to do. But
It's like it's not
I just,
worth it.
I really, if we could just keep on. I've noticed too, because I've been keeping, like, I look at probably at least once a day I'll check eBay sales. You know what's been sold and for how much, and it's gone
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
It's not as bad anymore. You know, when I came back in,
Yeah,
there's less and less
definitely. Like
overpriced
the
sales. Yeah,
resale is a bit lower now. Yeah,
and then you have think people like Zach dropping down to 15.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I feel good about it. I think it's going in a good direction at least. It's still gonna be tough, but
Yeah.
it's not too
like, yeah,
dangerous.
some people are in it, like to buy cards and all that, but like for the purpose of resale. But some people just buy because they love cards and it's like their passion to collect and all that. So but yeah, some people are in it just for the resale.
Like
Shout
you.
out Geo Monster.
Shout out Gio. Shout out Aldo. Shout out Jared.
Hey,
They have huge amount of
yeah,
decks just because they like them.
yeah, but I don't resell them.
Yeah,
like I
that's
will
the
only like
thing.
resell one or two when I need the money or something, like to buy like another deck or something, but
That
not like purposely buying it for reselling everything and
that's
get
the
a
thing with
month
you and
money for it.
Jared, and even like Geo Monster. You are
Yeah,
only in it because you like it, not for
Yeah,
profit
because
and
we just
things like
love
that.
yeah.
cards too much.
Yeah,
I've gotten to know Geo Monster a little bit, and yeah, dude, that guy he's just wild about cards.
yeah. He has when I traded with
He's so
him
chill.
the hollow mirrors, like
Mm,
he sent me photos of his collection. He has like a huge ass wall full of decks,
yeah.
of cabinets
Bro,
with
yeah,
decks.
yeah, I've seen that
That's
one.
crazy, dude.
Crazy.
And he's like,
Yeah,
I don't sell anything. I just like them, and he uses the decks and stuff like that. That's that's wild,
yeah,
dude. Like I feel that I have a bunch of decks because I have like, not proud to say it, but I have like over 300 plus decks in the last
damn.
year. Imagine getting all that in 1 year. It's fucked up.
Yeah, I don't wanna have to say it either, but I could probably agree with you. I'm probably about right there.
Yeah, and it's like,
Yeah, and for me personally, like uncut sheets and all that. Like I love cards, but I see him like I love art as well, and I see him as like art piece.
Yeah,
Like uncut
totally.
sheets and like these rare decks are just like one off, like the hollow mirror. Like even though the
yeah,
cards are the same, but the box is different. But I see it like art pieces.
Totally.
And I love like
yeah.
collecting and all that. So yeah,
Shout out Art of Play.
it really is depends on, yeah,
Yeah, I guess the way when I look at it, I'm all for any reason that anyone wants to buy anything they want to buy. It's just as long as people don't pay the prices, then there
Yeah,
won't be
it's
too much
like
of a problem.
yeah,
the Fontaine Goodco prices.
Yeah,
yeah,
Everyone here knows who made it, so it's that expensive right now. It's like 75, 70. I
yeah. You can't get them
I
much cheaper than
I
like 40
don't
50
know
bucks.
if I want to say the name of the guy, but we all know who was the first one to place them at that price. That's fucked up because
mm,
he 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 could have like placed them for, I don't know, 40 or 35 or
Yeah,
something like that, but he chose to sell them at 70.
it's like yeah. I mean, it's like I'm even cool if you want to. I'm totally cool with someone reselling. Like that's still maybe that's part of the fun of it. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy that too. But there's just no need for you to jump immediately the next day and just
Yeah,
slam it that hard.
that's true.
yeah. Oh, just a quick tip, like to anyone who like wants to buy decks and like they're like pretty expensive. Just like in my opinion, just be patient, man. Like one of these days you're gonna find a really good deal, but just be patient.
Yeah.
No,
That's
Yeah,
that's
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 you
true.
really
gotta
good.
you gotta really do your research, even yeah, but like just be patient. Like it'll drop one day, or someone might let it go for a really cheap price and all that, or
Exactly.
even just like buying like a
Or
cheap
like,
like
who knows?
open one that is like 9 out of 10.
Companies
Yeah.
might do a restock, like Fontaine and
Which we've seen a lot of.
Dealer's
Yeah.
Grip,
Yeah, yeah,
anyone,
definitely.
and you can get the deck for
Yeah,
way cheaper for retail, dude. So it's like, just be
yeah.
patient. Like,
And just yeah, just do your research. Like a really good example was like my Red Fontaine Uncut. That was like just patience and research.
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
dude, like
they're always out there.
that's
Yeah.
so limited.
Yeah,
Like, Aldo has a Red Fontaine uncut shit, and
It's wild to
if
imagine.
you see the campaign for the Red Fontaines, there were only like 12 made.
yeah. I think only like eight people backed it,
So
like
yeah,
to
so
get the
it's
uncut
like,
sheet. Yeah.
Oh shit,
You
that's
are
I didn't know
one
that.
of
That's
those
nuts.
8 people that have a red fontaine and cut shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even
That's
if it's 20
crazy,
of them,
dude.
that's nuts, man.
So for
And dude, and the price that I got it at was even more insane. It was like 200 USD.
dude,
Mm.
that's so cheap. It's like at that point I feel that you are buying like a painting or something like that, like an artwork that will only gain
Yeah.
price and
And
value.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
that's a perfect example of like something where you say 200 and someone else might say like what 200, but even now like it's been so long, it's so rare, it's justified.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
true.
a piece of art for me,
Right.
it's not like something I'm gonna use, but it's a piece of art. Like I really love art, and yeah,
Totally.
and definitely just do your research. Like how I found it was like one day I tracked like Red Fontaine uncut sheet posts from like 2013 or 2015 because that was when they were released on Instagram,
You were
and I
digging
and
for it,
I
yeah.
and yeah, and I basically just went like hashtag Red Fontaine uncut, and I saw these people like posted it, and then I found this guy, but I didn't want to message him at first. And then one day I was like, you know what? Like, like, what, like,
The worst that could
I have
happen.
nothing to lose,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, what's the worst that could happen? Because, like, oh, I'm sure this guy wants to keep it and all that. And I messaged him and he was like, oh, yeah, I've got one. I might actually let it go. And I was like, oh, okay.
Is
And
that
yeah,
easy?
That's
he happened to be,
wild.
he happened to be flying to Singapore the same time as I did, like in November. And then we met up at the airport and I picked it up. And then I gave him like because he loves food, so I gave him like a honey cake that was only like made in Perth, and he loved
Yeah,
it. And he was like, "Oh, you
that's
should have
awesome.
paid me like 200 USD worth of cake instead of
Yeah,
the
I was
honey."
gonna
And I was
say
like,
yeah, I was gonna ask if you said that. It's funny.
"Yeah, yeah." He actually said that, and I was like, "Oh, and yeah." And then yeah, like you'll never know, like just be patient, like when you're hunting and all that for like the decks that you want, because like sometimes like you can really get like really good deals if you're really patient and not like let your ego and thirst like take over you to just like buy it.
And another thing I've noticed, as long as the community can continue to stay strong and not pay those crazy prices, eventually,
Yeah.
they got to sell the decks. If the
Yeah,
guy's got 40 brushes, if no one's paying 50, he's gonna have to lower. He's not just gonna keep those forever. He doesn't want them anyways if he's trying to sell them.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like so,
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
true because stuff like that has happened to me. Like I have decks that I bought like back in the day when I liked like PC designs and stuff like that. Now when I sell them, I'm like, okay, I want to make a little profit, but I also want to sell this. So it's like
Right? Yeah.
it's hard pricing something because of the market. Like uh,
Yeah.
an example is a Houndstooth deck that I sold. There's people selling them for
Yeah.
150 or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. I listed them at 45 because that was fair for me. Then people started messaging me like, "Yo, you should sell them for more" and stuff like that. And it's like, should I? And
Yeah.
it,
Yeah. It really depends on like your purpose, like why you buy cards, why you sell cards, and why you keep cards.
yeah, like I I I was saying like a bit ago that Brian actually sold souvenirs for really cheap.
Yeah.
And Henry.
Yeah, and Henry, like
Shout
Henry,
out Henry, man. Dude, that guy, yeah,
bro,
he
Sokal is so nice, dude. So nice.
seriously,
One
dude.
of the
That guy's a
nicest people
white
that I
knight.
have, yeah, that I have
Yeah.
met.
Shout out Henry.
And he
Like,
started, I think it was a few months or so even just before me, and he's got casual community, you could say. So he's gotten so much bigger, but it's awesome seeing how everything he does. Yeah, he works so hard, so he deserves everything all the recognition he's been getting.
yeah, that's the thing that he barely makes profit.
Yeah.
So he's like
Yeah.
working his own job for sustaining his family and buying cards so everyone in the community can get them for cheap.
He's a perfect
Yeah.
example, I think, of a good store salesman. Yeah, like he cares about the community, he
Yeah,
cares about doing the right thing, and he's not just there to make money. Yeah. If we could see more people like him, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to see. Yeah, so I'm glad he was also here when I came in.
yeah, like bro,
Yeah.
Henry's so nice. And like I understand that he's selling the Jerry Nuggets for 300 because I saw the listing on eBay
Yeah,
and it was actually really expensive.
I'm
So
sure they're like $1,000. Yeah,
yeah, it was more than $1,000. It's
I knew it
like,
would happen as soon as Jerry's got reprinted. Yeah, because everyone's gonna want that OG.
yeah,
That's why I
dude.
bought mine right before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If nobody that is listening knows, Brian has a set of OG Jerry's. He has the box signed by everyone at CardistryCon.
Almost. I'm gonna take it everywhere I can, man. I'm gonna fill as many people as I can. Yeah.
Oh, and supposedly Aslang is eating one card in the next
That's what he
CardistryCon.
says. We'll
Yeah.
see. He's eaten a few cards before, so I think he'll be
Which
down.
card is he eating?
I'll have to decide, but I know he. That's one thing I like about Aslan. Quick side note is he's a definite believer in, it's just cards. They're not really important, They are to an extent that we take it, but at the end of the day,
It's
it's
just
just
paper.
paper.
It's just paper.
It's just paper, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why I like the name of your podcast, man, and your magazine, and then now the podcast, yeah. It kind of goes in with that.
Shout out Paperless. Shout out the team, dude. Like, I couldn't have even done the magazine without Aldo's help and without your help, because that's crazy, dude.
We help each other, We help each other.
I'm gonna say it again, dude. That was a bomb first issue. I mean,
yeah,
it's tough to get them out quick, but I know every time you get one out, it's gonna
I wanted to drop issue 2 like this year, but the thing is that I was busy with work and school.
Yeah.
Stuff.
It's hard.
So, yeah, like I actually send you guys the list of stuff that I had planned for the issue, but it's just I didn't have time. Like, that's the thing. You can have all the decks in the world, all the money in the world, all the clothes, everything. The thing that you can't have is time.
Yep.
I'm going way deep right here, but that's true.
Okay, so I reckon like in the next like paperless issue, we can actually like promote the podcast and like see if anyone has a topic that I want to speak about, and if we approve of it, they can join us as well.
Oh yeah, for
totally,
sure.
totally.
For sure. And like I feel that
Yeah.
this podcast will be different because each of us can offer like insight on different stuff that only we can offer. Like, I can low-key offer insight on like designing stuff, working with companies and shit like that. Aldo, like, bro, he's like the best guy to buy cards
He's
and
the
stuff
best
like
Aldo.
that. Yeah, he's like the best Aldo.
The best Aldo.
Point.
Yeah, it'll be dope.
Yeah,
I think.
And like Brian is like the sales guy. Like, come on, dude.
I know we all like talking, and we're all pretty positive, so I think this will be a good spot to meet up, even if we don't have a set date. Just anytime we really feel like we have something good to talk about, it's
just
we'll
like
get
the
together.
magazine, dude. We can do this when we have time. It really doesn't matter.
All good.
All right, well, maybe, shit. If anyone possibly is somehow still listening, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you.
Expect a lot. It's gonna be cool. We're gonna enjoy this. We're gonna try it out.
And hopefully we can get more different people in here and like get a different perspective as well. So
yeah, I'm passionate about it. I really want to take it serious.
Yeah.
So Brian, if you want to wrap it up.
All right, guys. Well, this has been the very first, very loose, very clunky episode of Paperless. That's it.
It will get better from here.
Yeah, it will. I swear it will get better. So also remember, if you want to read or get support,
I'm gonna.
The first issue of Paperless the link is in somewhere. It's a link to Gumroad.
I'm gonna repost it too, because I still have a lot of people that they don't even know it exists, obviously.
Yeah, and like
it was so long ago.
It surprised me that people still get the first issue like months later. I still get like emails, like
I bring it up when I can.
Someone downloaded like the Paperless issue, and that's like, it's really cool to see that, because it's like spreading more and more.